We are in Oklahoma City at the Oklahoma City Boathouses. This is actually where the Olympic row teams practice. There's a canal behind us where they hold races and have competitions on a regular basis, and where the Olympic row teams have their boathouses where they have all kinds of equipment to practice rowing as well as go out on the canal with the boats. But what we're really here for is the other thing, the rapids. The rapids are where the 2028 Summer Olympic Games for canoe slalom will be held. Why in Oklahoma City? Because Oklahoma City already has the rapids in place to do it. Now I know that seems like a bizarre thing because Oklahoma City actually has no natural lakes or rapids to speak of. But they built an area with fake rapids and changeable rapids in a chorus type format. Actually, normal people can come here on just about every day and either canoe the rapids, kayak the rapids, or take rapids rafts down the rapids. You can do it by yourself or you can do it with a guide. And there's a lot of cool things to do here. There's also an indoor skiing area for snow skiing, except no snow. And there's a BMX bike area as well. Directly behind me is like a climbing tower kids play area that is also a blast, and my kids have been on it and they love it. All right, let's go take a look at the rapids because that's what we're here to see today. As we see here, there's already an Olympic flag flying, and it might be because the Olympic Games in Paris just ended. The 2024 Summer Olympic Games have just ended, but now is the time where we're already thinking about the Summer 2028 Games. Of the flags here, we see on the left is the Oklahoma State flag, in the center is the United States flag, and on the right we have the Olympic flag flying. Now just below the flags we begin to see the rapids, and these walkways out there are different spots where you can go to actually watch different parts of the rapids. And then to our right here is the main boathouse for the rapids area. There's a restaurant in there, there's merchandise in there, as well as the rentals and guided tours that you could take, or the guided rides you can take. I'm not sure what we call it when you go out on rapids. So here is that merch area where you can buy the merch. And then in the back is the cafe slash restaurant slash grill area. And then here's where you sign the waivers to go out on the rapids. But we do find a great little map of what this area looks like. Let's go outside, let's take a look at the rapids. So here we're getting our first glimpse at the rapids. These blue things that you see in the water are completely reconfigurable to change the types of rapids. And then underneath the water, it may be hard to see, but there are also, I believe they're still blue, attached to the bottom of the waterway that changes the way the rapids work. So whether it's rougher or calmer, or the water moves in a different direction, they can reconfigure the rapids here. Now, there are two choruses here. There's this one, which I believe is actually for the slalom canoe. And on the left side, we see the rafting one. Let's take a walk over towards that side a moment. And here we see the tubing rapids here. Now, you can actually see right there at the bottom of that little washout, some of those blue things under the water. And if I come over here, you can see a couple more in this calmer section. So with all of these blue things is how they can configure and manipulate what the rapids are doing and provide a consistent experience for everyone, or for competition's sake, a consistent ride or challenge for everyone who's in the competition. So let's walk up a ways and take a look more at what's up ahead. What you've got here is we're on a little bridgeway. You can walk up a path there on the right and a path up here on the left, which will take you to the head area where it all starts. Well, I guess technically it starts down here in this comm section, but we want to go up where the water starts anyway. And what would happen is you come down either one of these rapids and you end up coming down and around, or as you see directly under us, this one, into this calm section. And then you would ride around here on the far right side. See how calm it is out there, back to the starting point again. Now, as we walk up towards the top, the tubing is on our left here. As we walk up to the top here where the water starts, you also see little areas where there's stairs. And they do actually have rescue teams here as well. So if an incident should happen while you're out either tubing or kayaking, they do have rescue teams here, as well as crews come here to practice rescue, because it is a controlled environment that allows great areas to do training on how to do rough water rescue. So it is a fairly safe place to do rapids. And this whole area was built with what is called the MAPS program. MAPS is a 1%, they call it 1 penny, 1% sales tax. Let me get around this little muddy area. It just rained here, so things are wetter than usual. But the MAPS program is a 1 penny sales tax on everything sold in the city of Oklahoma City. And that has paid for a lot of improvements to Oklahoma City, such as building this Boathouse district. The improvements have been pretty impressive, and I am not a fan of taxes and more taxes and more taxes, but I can say, in all honesty, a lot of the funding that they've collected through this 1% sales tax increase has truly helped Oklahoma City make a lot of impressive improvements. And this is just one of them. So here we are coming closer to the top where we see the two different paths that you could take. Now we see the tubing path here is rough, but still much smoother than the canoe kayak slalom over here. That looks pretty intense to me. And granted, I'm not a kayaker, I'm not even a rafter. I would love to try this though. This looks like a lot of fun. And you can come here just about any weekend and there's activities and races going on, as well as, like I said earlier, you can rent a kayak, you can rent a canoe, or you can go on a guided trip down these rapids, which is pretty awesome. And I've really wanted to do that. Now, another thing I'm going to mention here, I did leave some links down in the description below. The hotels and things are going to book out quickly. People are already planning for the 2028 Olympics. So I suggest, go ahead, use those links, book your hotel stay, book your airfare, make a plan to be here, because this is going to be pretty awesome. And Oklahoma City, Oklahoma as a whole, is a very warm, friendly place to be. It's going to be a lot different than being in LA where the crowds and the nastiness are, because the Oklahoma people are just so different, so kind, so friendly, and this will be quite the sight to see, along with the southern hospitality of Oklahoma. All right, we're gonna go up these stairs here, where we're going to get a view of where the water essentially starts. So this building here is designed to match the boathouses. That's essentially the pump house, if you will. And I mentioned that calm area before. Let's go over here and take a look at where you start. So there is that calm area. Yeah, look at all the power required to keep these pumps running. It's a lot. And then on that far side there is that ramp that you would go up to get up here. So depending on what method they're running that day, you would come up that ramp and then down the other side, or you would get in right here by this boathouse. And then there's this calm area. You see there's kind of like a little lagoon almost over there, where I guess you could hang out and wait your turn, as well as this calm area. Then it comes around and you've got to be in the right lane now, because once you get going, I guess there's really no stopping. But again, this lane to the right is going to be your slalom course, and the lane on the left will be your rafting course. So let's take a look down this slalom course. Here we go. And here you see really well some of those blue things buried in the water that change the way the rapids work. Now I'm on another lookout bridge, if you will. And here we are looking down the other side. at the slalom course. Now, I believe there's actually now currently like a starting gate type thing almost underneath me, because we do have this covered area that might be for timings. I'm not 100% sure. And those poles are kind of cool, because one of the things that the slalom course does is they have to maneuver their kayak or their canoe, depending on what sport they're doing, around those poles, and they move those poles in and out to different spots on the course. And it's a lot of fun to see the athletes do this, and it's a lot of work. So now we're walking our way back over towards the tubing area, and here we are on the tube area. Now, as we see, we still have a great little lookout here. So they're gonna come down right here. They took that path on the right. They get to start with a little bit of calmness before their rapid start. A little bit calmer all the way through here. But then you see a little bit further down is where their rapids start. So this is where the 2028 Summer Olympic Canoe and Kayak Slalom competitions will be held. So that's going to do it for us today here in Oklahoma City. Now, as you see, I do have a mic on with a windscreen. So if you do come out to Oklahoma, just remember, Oklahoma actually is very windy all the time. Actually, when it's not windy here, it's rare, and I miss the wind. And another thing you see behind me right now is the sky. It's kind of gray today. That is extremely rare in Oklahoma. We usually have bright blue skies, gorgeous skies to look at. We did have some storms come through. Now, during the summer, you've heard about tornadoes in Oklahoma. When the Olympic Games are happening is not tornado season, so that should not be much of a concern for you at all when you're here for the Summer 2028 Olympics. I hope this was helpful for you. I really enjoyed taking you on a quick tour of the Oklahoma City Boathouse area where the competitions will be held for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games for canoe and kayak slalom. Please do me a favor, click that subscribe button to follow me on more awesome journeys. I would love to take you to see more cool places like this. And remember, book your stay early, because I know the hotels and local lodging options are going to sell out quickly. I have left a link down below where you can book all of your travel needs as well as local tours of Oklahoma City. And if you are interested in a personalized small group tour of Oklahoma City, I would be happy to take you on a tour of all the highlights of Oklahoma City. It is a fascinating city, which is actually 600 square miles of city. One of the largest land areas city-wise, but as far as downtown goes, it's not that large, but there's a lot of great history and things to see in the city. I am looking forward to seeing you in the next video.